yung nakita ko kasi naming mga placards doon, ang battle cry ho nila ngayon ay accountability at transparency. At pag nakita nyo naman po yung press con ni Ombudsman kahapon, yung kabuuan na, marami naman hong ibang kaso ang na-announce niya, no? Kagaya po ng mga contractor na matagal na naming ini-investigate. Kagaya po ng yung announcement niya kay Sec Manny Bonoan, at ang dahilan po kasi na kung bakit namin siya ginawang state witness ay dahil sa yung grand case of conspiracy and plunder, no? Na ang pinaka punot dulo nun ay si former Speaker Martin Romualdez. So yun po talaga ang mga ano natin, yun yung kabuuan, no? That's the context in which he mentioned also the case of Senator Marcoleta, no? So kung accountability po at transparency ang kanilang pinaglalaban, yun din po ang aming pinaglalaban dito sa Office of the Ombudsman, na lahat ng nagkakamali ay mananagot sa batas. So, we understand the plight, we understand what they're fighting for, but we ourselves are fighting for the same things. Kaya siguro there might have been a little bit of miscommunication dahil sa totoo lang parehas po ang pinaglalaban po ng grupo na nandyan sa EDSA at dito din sa Office of the Ombudsman. When you talk about plunder, it's a series of combination of acts where somebody is able to amass, acquire, and accumulate ill-gotten wealth to the amount of at least 50 million pesos. So, isa-isahin ho natin, 50 million pesos, umabot ho ng 75 million pesos ang kabuuan ng mga supposedly donations sa kanya. So, yun yung una. Series or combinations, 3 transaction ho yun na nagbigay. At admitado naman po yung mga donors, na nagbigay naman din sila, no? And from the own admissions as well of Senator Marcoleta, tinanggap niya yung 75 million. Ngunit, hindi po niya nadeklara sa SALN, neither niya dineklara sa kanyang SOSE. Ngayon, just to put things in context, no? As a public official, kasama po kami doon. Lahat ng congressman, lahat ng senador, lahat po ng nasa executive branch, lahat ng huwes sa judiciary. Bawal tumanggap ng ganun kalaking kahalaga ng pera as a general rule. Exception to the general rule kung campaign period at mangongolekta ka ng mga donations para sa campaign. Pero dito sa case na ito, hindi naman niya dineklara sa SOSE. Hindi rin niya dineklara sa SALN. So, dineklara lang niya sa taong bayan, sa media. Pero sa totoo lang, dapat linagay niya either sa SALN or sa SOSE. So, ang theory will revolve around that, no? Several cases or series or combination of acts, and yung yung tanong nyo na public funds, dun sa RA 7080 sa plunder law, there are acts there that could comprise of the series or combination of acts that could comprise of plunder. And number 2 there is receiving directly or indirectly any gift, commission, percentage, kickback. Alam nga naman po, yung gift ay galing din sa public funds. So, ang definition po ng plunder also includes private funds. Okay? And just to elaborate on that further, yung direct bribery or indirect bribery, pag merong series nun, that can also comprise of plunder. And direct bribery coming from a private individual can also be considered corruption. Diba? So when there's a series or combination of that, pwede rin ho siyang tawaging plunder. I understand, no, naiintindihan ho namin yung argument na yon na kailangan public funds. Ngunit pag binasa mo talaga yung batas, nandyan ho yan na kahit private funds, pwede. It's just that kadalasan ang nafa-file ho yung public funds. May malversation, may misappropriation, yun po yung kadalasan natin naririnig pag ang final ay plunder. Pero sa totoo lang, and you will see it in the law, that even private funds can comprise of the crime of plunder. No, like I mentioned, parehas ho ang pinaglalaban ho natin. Kung ang pinaglalaban po ng mga taga-INC ngayon sa EDSA ay transparency and accountability, yun din ang pinaglalaban ng Office of the Ombudsman. So, is it our mandate to stop cases? Perhaps not. It is our mandate to investigate and prosecute cases. And once the evidence is there, and in this case, the evidence was amply supplied by the respondents themselves, our hands are quite tied here, no? So, that also speaks to how fast this case went. Dahil po, lahat po ng admissions, lahat po ng elemento ay nasatisfy na po doon sa mga sinabi niya po. Well, sa tingin ho namin dito, marami kasi kaming fina-file na kaso laban sa mga public officials. At kadalasan, yan po talagang nagiging sagot nila na pina-persecute sila, na it's about politics. Not even just about this case, not even just about senators. Kahit yung mga LGU, kahit yung mga mayor, mga vice mayor, yan po talaga ang fallback nila na depensa. Na kami po ay pinupolitika dito. But the facts will speak for themselves. And I think when you read the case and you listen to the admissions and you listen to the interviews, you will see that the case is quite clear-cut. Kaya it's hard to see kung saan po nanggagaling si Senator Marcoleta dito dahil yung kaso mismo ay yung ebidensya mismo na ginamit ng ating mga investigador ay nanggaling din po sa kanya. Actually, yun ho nga talaga ang gusto naming ipaliwanag, no? Na this whole rally today comes from the context na sinasabi nila baka ay kumbaga we are pinpointing or we are targeting certain people only. Hindi po totoo yan dahil yung kaso po ni former Speaker Martin Romualdez is getting stronger by the day. And the reason why we accepted si former Secretary Manny Bonoan into as a state witness is precisely because yung kanyang intention na to cooperate with us is for that case specifically. So yung budgetary process po, no, yung budget po ng DPWH, yung budget ni former Secretary Manny Bonoan, yun po ang kinalikot na budget ng House leadership at that time. So, ang corruption ho kasi, hindi mo yan pwedeng i-penetrate galing sa labas. Kailangan, meron ka talagang insider sa loob. It was a tough decision for the office to arrive at that, na i-accept namin si former Secretary Manny Bonoan as a state witness. Mahirap pong decision. And there was a lot of considerations that had to go into that decision. Isa na doon yung age, illnesses, and all of that. Kung na-convict si former Secretary Manny Bonoan for 40 years, sa tingin niyo po ba he will last until 120 years old sa loob ng kulungan? That was one consideration. Pangalawa po, itong batas natin that will afford the Ombudsman plenary powers to afford immunity to somebody, that is not meant to protect the guilty, but to reward the cooperation of somebody who knows a lot. Kaya ho namin ginamit yan. And between the two, no, na you have somebody who was charged already with plunder, and you have another case which could change the history of the Philippines because we are trying to exact accountability on one of the biggest heists on our budget. We would rather go for the bigger case than have him rot in jail for how many years? Dahil meron talaga siyang may bubuga. Dahil he was in the room. Siya mismo ang nandun, siya mismo ang kumakausap sa mga congressman, siya mismo ang kumakausap sa mga cabinet secretary. And that is a unique position that he was in. And if he is willing to cooperate, we are willing to see also what he has to say para mapalakas po ang ating kaso laban kay former House Speaker Martin Romualdez. It's par for the course, sabi niya. It comes with the territory. Dahil alam naman ho niya na yung gravity po ng trabaho dito sa Office of the Ombudsman ay ganung level na po. Pero mandato ho kasi ng opisina na to exact accountability from people who have misused or abused their position in government. The resolution is not yet signed, no? As the Ombudsman mentioned yesterday, the resolution is in its final stages already. But he anticipates that the resolution may be filed or may be signed and the information may be filed. So we do not want kasi po to dictate upon the investigators or the panel as to when. The Ombudsman gives them the prosecutorial independence to do that. Pero ang huling update ho kasi sa amin ay malapit na daw ho. Yun po ang halimbawa ng isang fake news. Yung korte lang po ang makakapag-issue ng warrant of arrest, no? Dito ho sa Ombudsman, ang pwede lang namin gawin ay gumawa ng isang resolution at maghain ng kaso sa Sandigan Bayan or sa RTC, whichever the case may be. Ngunit yung sa plunder case na kasama siya, there was no allegation of any money taken by him. He was part of the conspiracy. How? Because he approved apparently the list to be given out. Doon ho pumili ng mga projects. But no allegation of money was ever alleged in that case specifically. Now the question is, how much would it be if he were to restitute or to return money? That is something that we are negotiating right now. That is something that we have to see, but it will not be directly to the Office of the Ombudsman. It will have to be approved by court, as with all restitution cases. So, at that time, hindi pa po siya cooperative. At that time, we wanted to talk to him dahil, like you mentioned, he was part of the intricate scheme, which makes him a good candidate because he was in the intricate scheme. So, at that time, actually, ang sulat po kasi ng lawyer ay mga 3 weeks ago. At that's why there were a lot of things that had to go into the decision to make him state witness. Nung pumasok ho yung letter na yon, pinakita ho namin kay Ombudsman at sabi niya, explore. Dahil it might be a good opportunity. So, at the time that we filed the case, there was no intention for him to cooperate. Now, with the case being filed, I guess we pushed on a pressure point. Now they're willing to cooperate. And if the cooperation means it could lead us to even bigger fish, because dito sa scheme na ito, alam naman ho natin, ang nasusunod talaga ang mambabatas. The former House Speaker may have had a big role to play when we talk about percentages. Diba? So, yung mga statements niya, yung conversations niya with the House leadership, with certain congressmen, is very vital to our investigation. There will be no document trail kasi, diba? When you talk about corruption, in this magnitude especially, wala ho yan talagang paper trail. What you can get, however, are conversations, statements, testimonies from people who were there in the room. Kaya po, napakahalaga yung rule din ni Sec Manny Bonoan. But we were already willing to file against him. Kaya namin siya finailan talaga ng plunder case. Pumasok na siya sa kulungan. Kaya siguro naisip niya na makipagtulungan na lang siya sa amin. I think that's the specialty of the field investigators here, na to exact the whole truth. At hindi lang yung mga ka-aliado niya or yung mga kaaway niya ang babanggitin. The investigators should be able to exact the whole truth. Kasi pag merong ganong trend, talagang sasabihin ng investigators na something smells funny here, di ba? Hindi naman po pwedeng puro kalaban niya ang kakantahin niya, tapos yung mga kaalyado na alam naman ho natin na talagang sangkot dyan, hindi mababanggit. Maamoy ho yan ng mga investigador namin. I mean, there's always pressure in this job. There's always pressure to get it right. Lalo na ngayon na napakalaki ng skandalo na.